Ryan Taylor. Ryan, morning.
Ryan, make yourself comfortable. Let's see him scoring goals, probably against Newcastle.
It is Taylor, and it's in! Will be Taylor to hit it. He did it last season against Newcastle, and he has done it again. Oh, can you believe that? Ryan Taylor has done it to Newcastle again. Taylor cracks it. Oh, he's done it again! 4 goals in 4 meetings with Newcastle.
Ryan, you chose that tune. Helen, that was Kanye West and Gold Digger.
Good knowledge, Max.
Thanks. I was on the radio once, played songs. Last night, you lost to Spurs 3-1 in the Cup. What do you make of it?
A little bit disappointing, you know. Obviously to go out the Cup so early on. It's always nice to get a good Cup run going, but, you know, it wasn't to be, and, you know, I think the penalty was, you know, the change of the game.
You were rested? Were you on the bench? Were you rested? Did Steve Bruce say was saving you for the league?
No, I had a little bit of a hard week this week. You know, things went on personally, and you know, I said, you know, I didn't feel right playing, so, you know, I had a chat with the gaffer, and he was happy with, you know, putting me on the bench.
You said just before he said he was going to rest the whole midfield, and then the rest of the midfield played.
Which wasn't nice, yeah. So he basically, well, when I went to see him, he said he was going to rest the midfield, and, you know, to turn up and everyone else was playing, and, you know, I think a few porcupines got told to me, yeah.
Weekend off, what are you going to do with yourself?
I'm just going to chill out down here for a couple of days, you know. Just got, well, family back at home, looking after everything, and yeah, I'm just going to chill out down.
Nice to have a weekend off, isn't it? Especially just after Christmas.
Yeah, it is. You know, with, you know, tough run of games have just, you know, happened, and you know, feeling a little bit tired myself with games, you know, that I haven't played a lot, you know, in the last year or so. So it's nice, yeah. Nice little weekend down here. It'll do me the world of good.
Just going back to when you came on, we put a little package together of, you know, of you scoring goals. I was looking at that thinking, how many people have come up to you and said, you're in my fantasy football team? Because defenders who score goals are...
Yeah, there's been a few, but there's been a few saying, you know, any chance of you not being injured so I can put you in, but that's not down to me.
That's all right now, isn't it? Because what was it? It was your knee, wasn't it?
No, it was actually in pre-season. I sort of got this weird shin injury that wouldn't go away. You know, I went down to I think it's Champneys near Watford, just on my own for a couple of days.
Posh, isn't it? Isn't that posh? Isn't that one of those places isn't that a spa? Don't you
Sounds
get
like somewhere in France to me.
Well, when I went, you know, I think there must have been about 60 women there, but they were all over like
with
50
bubbles
years
there,
old.
darling.
Yeah.
Bubbles
there was
de
a few of
Beer.
them there, yeah. But no, I went into some ice chamber, you know, that which big Frank Bruno was there taking the mickey out of me for being a Scouser, so, you know, that was nice. I ain't going to answer him back.
What, and that sorted it out?
Yeah, well...
So I'm lost. Frank Bruno was there.
Yeah.
In your ice chamber. You were in an ice chamber with Frank Bruno.
Yeah, well, I know, funny you say that. Like, you know, I never thought I'd be in an ice chamber with Frank Bruno.
I bet he's telling his family the same. I never thought I'd be in an ice chamber with Ryan Taylor.
You've scored against Newcastle. You scored on Boxing Day. It's 4 times in 4 games you've scored against them. Do you kind of look at that and think, oh, it's Newcastle, I always score against them, I'm going to score again?
No, it's not like that, you know. I come up to the game and treat any game exactly the same, but, you know, I think just what's happened in the past against Newcastle, you know, in my early career, I think, you know, I deserve a few bits of good luck.
You broke your leg, didn't you, playing,
yeah.
It was the Rezzies, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, I think my second game off breaking me that famous metatarsal that everyone seems to break. And it was like second game coming back from that, and then all of a sudden, you know, a broken tib and fib, just you know, off a silly challenge from, you know, a young lad who was trying to make his way through, and, you know, the rest is history from there.
We spoke to Shay Given, asked him whether he was sick of the sight of you. This is what Shay said.
Ryan who? Wish I'd never heard of the bloke. I don't know what I've done to upset him,
but he certainly seems to enjoy putting unstoppable shots past me. Thank goodness I won't be seeing him again this season.
Anything to say back?
No, I apologise. That's
Apologise for scoring goals. Right, so Wigan then, 7th. How good does that feel? Starting the new year, because everyone says that after Christmas, it's officially kind of the run-in, isn't it, after Christmas? So starting the new year in 7th, brilliant.
Yeah, it seems a bit weird looking at the table, seeing us at 7th, because, normally we're, fighting a bit of a dogfight, but, it's always nice when you look at the table on, say, a Sunday morning once you've played on a Saturday and you see yourself up there. But, we can't say, we're safe or, we're only a couple of points from the, the drop, which is, a little bit
Can you start looking up? I mean, because you're almost, everyone says there are 14 teams in the relegation.
Yeah, I don't see why not. We've got a good squad of players there, great togetherness within the squads and, good manager, good staff. It's all there for us really to just push on.
Can you afford to relax a little bit? I know that it is very tight in the league, but because psychologically, like you say, when you look at the table, you're 7th, does it sort of, rather than being 19th or 20th?
A little bit, yeah.
Take a bit of a breather.
Yeah, I think teams, when they come to play us, I think they think, they're doing well, they're on the up, instead of, they're fighting for their lives, and, they give us a little bit more respect, and, it's nice when you play the big teams and you're up there with them big teams.
Ryan Taylor, we will talk to you a bit about Steve Bruce in training. Apparently he's quite funny, you've told us. So for the time being, Ryan Taylor.
Thanks, Ryan.